What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with a quick video for this Monday. Kyle Anderson signing his first big major deal on rookie contract. A guy that has signed a 4-year, $37 million offer sheet to Memphis. The San Antonio Spurs have officially declined matching the offer, and that means they will let Kyle Slow Mo Anderson, a guy that we all felt like was going to be a Spur in the draft. He's a Spur type player. He has the speed. He can change the pace. He can handle the ball. He can play multiple positions. And he's a solid decision maker for the age that he's at. And he was a mature. He had maturity. He was a smart guy, high basketball IQ. He is 24 years old. He will be 25 before the season starts in September 20th. That's my birthday. My birthday September 20th, so it's kind of funny to see we have the same birthday, and I actually am older than Kyle Anderson. So that's the crazy part. So at the end of the day, let's get into the video. We're going to talk about Kyle Anderson getting that deal, what it means for the Spurs and what it means for the Memphis Grizzlies. First, for the Spurs, this is a tough one because he was starting to become an integral part of the team. He started getting major minutes. He has shown improvement every single season, even from going to the G League, even in Summer League. He showed that he can take over, that he was an NBA player. He had to lose some weight. He had to get that body right. He had to get his mobility right. And those are things that we knew coming into the NBA that he had to do. And what better organization to do it with besides the Spurs? They can get the best out of you. They can make you look better than you are. They can help you get to where you're trying to go. All you got to do is want to put in the work and study the film and continually to, be open-minded and not think they're attacking you, and you can get where you want to go. They have the right coaching staff, they have the right training staff, and they have the right development team, and their G League team is well ran. Their Summer League team is well ran. They're a hard team to stop. I remember in 2016 going to Summer League and seeing the improvement of Kyle Anderson, just going out there getting 20 points almost every damn game, doing whatever he wanted to on the court. He looked it like an NBA player, and then this season he finally starts getting major minutes and become an integral part of that bench. And then in some games he has started 67 games this year, and he ended up averaging 26 minutes. He gave you 8 points on 52% from the field, 33% from three, 71% from the free throw line. He also added in 5 rebounds and 2.7 assists in a steal a game. And these are stats that can only get better as he was going to stay with the Spurs. But they're in a situation where they're trying to transition. Tony Parker is gone. We don't know if Ginobili's going to be back. Kawhi Leonard, we don't know if he's going to stay in San Antonio or is he going to get traded. And they already got money going to Rudy Gay, a player that is basically better than Kyle Anderson at that 3 position. And he can play the 4. He's more mobile. He's a better offensive threat because he can score basically anywhere. He can shoot the 3, shoot the mid-range, and post up. So he does a lot of similar things to Kyle Anderson. The only difference is Kyle Anderson is significantly younger and he still has been improving. So it might fix right now, but in the future it could hurt the Spurs losing a guy like Kyle Anderson. And he's a very coachable, smart, humble guy, and you want those type of guys on your roster. But they also, remember, they picked up Omri Caspi. That's another guy that can play that 3 or 4 position and space out the floor and shoot the 3 for the Memphis Grizzlies. They also have Chandler Parsons, a guy that's basically been a bust for them. He hasn't really developed. He hasn't really played that much. He hasn't really made impact. I think he was going back and looking at that pickup. He could have been that missing piece to get him back to the Western Conference Finals because Mike Conley does need help handling the ball. He does need that 3-point shooter. He does need that dynamic player, and Chandler Parsons is a guy that can get to the paint. He's a guy that can knock down the 3. He's a guy that can play in the pick and roll or even just create shots on his own, getting to the basket, not knocking down step backs, or even creating shots with Marc Gasol and Conley and other players like Ben McLemore and Tyreke Evans last year that can knock down shots and play off the ball. So it was important to get a guy like Chandler Parsons that is really a 3 or a four. He can play multiple positions and switch, but he also has a lot of different type of styles and a lot of things that he brings to the table. That's why they was in a rush. Because remember, Memphis is not a place that free agents want to go. It's not a big name market. It's not a big name team. You know, picking up Chandler Parsons was a big deal because of what he can do and the fact that he can potentially get even better as he continues to play with the team and as he continues to put in the work. But obviously, it blew up in their face, and now they're paying the guy 20 plus million to basically be a non-factor because he hasn't really played any games. So it hurts knowing that you invested that type of money into a player like Parsons that you basically getting nothing out of, and you're committed to so much of that money goes to him. But Kyle Anderson is a guy like Chandler Parsons, a guy that can play the three or the four, handle the ball, knock down jumpers, knock down spot up threes, and get to the paint and create shots for others. So he has the same type of style. Obviously, Chandler Parsons back then was better than Kyle Anderson, but like I said, the thing I like about Kyle Anderson is that he's coachable and he's able to adapt and he does what's best for the team. But not only that, the guy has been getting better. So I like this pickup. They're not committing that much money. 4 years, $37 million is basically nothing because after taxes, if you played in the NBA, after taxes, they're going to take a lot of that money from you, over a couple million from you. And then you got the agent expenses. Then you have the bills that you normally accumulate of being a human. So Kyle Anderson not getting paid ridiculous. Ain't like they gave him 4 years, $80 million or 4 years, $60 million. They're not even paying him $40 million for the 4 years. So this is basically a bargain. You get a guy that you know what you're going to get. He's not haven't had any significant or major injuries. He hasn't been a bust, and this is a guy that can do a lot of things for this team. This is a grit grind team, a slow team, a team that likes to execute, and that's what slow mo is best at. Running the offense, getting in his spots, and making his teammates better by passing the ball from a good to great shot. And that's something that they needed, and that's what they thought they was going to get out of Parsons. But Parsons still can be a factor if he can come back healthy this season. And then you'll even be more dynamic with Parsons and Anderson on the court at the same time because they both can play the three or the four. So that gives them some length that allows them to go small or that allows them to go big, depending on who's the center, if it's Marc Gasol. So it gives them some more athleticism, give them some more speed. And at the end of the day, they had to make a move. The Memphis Grizzlies had such a terrible season last year because of injuries. And getting a player like who they drafted, which was I think it was Wendell Carter. Wendell Carter. He was a guy that they needed. I mean, Jaren Jackson Jr. He's a guy that can. He's 18, but we seen in summer league that he can do a lot. Spacing out the floor, doing the little things like passing the ball, getting rebounds, rotating, getting block shots, getting to the free throw line. Having versatility at that age is very special. And, once Chandler Parsons come off the books, they can definitely try to fill that spot at the three again if Kyle Anderson doesn't fit. But they getting more athletic, they're getting more mobile, and they're getting more pace and space, and something that the NBA has transformed into in a direction that everybody wants to play multiple positions. Everybody wants to be a tweener. All the teams want a guy that can play the 2, 3, or the 4. You want the wing guys, and they got a little younger too. That's something that they needed to do. Don't forget Big Ben can be a solid contributor to this team if he gets the minutes. At the end of the day, you still have a solid roster. If Mike Conley comes back healthy, you got a guy that can create his own shot, run the system, get his knock down the three, play in the pick and roll. You got a duo. They can play off a guy like Marc Gasol and Mike Conley, make their job a lot easier. Like I said, Kyle Anderson is a guy that plays well with other great players, and now that they have two great players in Marc Gasol and Conley, that takes a lot of attention off Kyle Anderson. It takes off a lot of attention from Jaren Jackson, even like an Ivan Rabb. These guys does very well off the ball because they can't really create their shot consistently. So this is damn near a perfect fit. Damn near, a physical fit too. They needed a guy like this, and they were getting him for a bargain. So let me know what you guys think about this pickup. Do you think this was a overpay? Do you think he's going to be underrated? Do you think he's going to fit right in? Do you feel like he fits the identity? Do you feel like at the end of the day, this is a pickup that won't matter that much, and some people think that already? Or do you think that Kyle Anderson, his ability to be coachable, to adapt and play multiple positions, can be that guy that can get them back into the playoffs along with Jaren Jackson Jr., a healthy Mike Conley, and a healthy Marcus Gasol? They should be able to get that 6th, 7th, or 8th spot like we thought last year before Conley went down. Or do you think this team is just too dependent on Marcus Gasol and Conley, two players that potentially can be declining because they had them injuries, and on top of that, um, the West has gotten significantly better and they haven't. So that's going to be a big problem. Can they keep up with the best teams in the West? Can they fight for those top 7, the top 6 seeds, or can they just fade out? You know, this is going to come to an end. They finally missed the playoffs. We don't know how well Mike Conley going to be coming off that injury, and if he is what he used to be, they're going to be a tough team to beat. And they added some more young athletic players to go with this nucleus and this core. But the NBA is not so much of a duo league anymore. You got to have multiple players that can play multiple positions, but also have multiple stars. And Marcus Gasol didn't really look like Marcus Gasol last year, maybe because he didn't have the help, he didn't have the other scorer, he didn't have the floor spacing. And now that he's going to have that this year, maybe we can see a better motivated and, the best, one of the top centers in the league, Marcus Gasol again, and Mike Conley take some attention off of him and gives him some easy shots and give him some rest, because Mike Conley can carry the offense too. So we'll see if this is gonna pay off. We'll see if the other moves help. We'll see if Jaren Jackson fits perfectly like he's doing in summer league. So at the end of the day, let me know what you guys think. Is this a good pickup or not? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Like on my Facebook page to show support. And also, check out the t-shirts, and they already on analysisplayground.com. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm gone. And let me know what you guys think about the Memphis Grizzlies.